Hello, my name is Daniel Chinagozi, and I'm going to be taking us through the remaining segments of the business plan workbook. So far, I know we've been able to capture what some of the things we need to do to put together a business plan, because our intention at the end of this exercise is that every trainee has a powerful business plan you can use and start your processes. But I need to talk about the business model canvas, because one thing that is clear in every business plan of today's world is that every entrepreneur should be able to develop a business model canvas. Actually, it's easy. That's a spreadsheet, a document you can use and prepare your business model so that you know how to approach your business. If you go through your workbook, you see on page 14, you will see a spread out column, which you can actually have something plain where you remove some of these explanations we have there and fill out what actually how this actually affects you in particular. The first thing you must look at is the customer segment. For this product or service I want to offer, who are my customers? Who is very important to me? And one thing about customers is that some products might have different customers and different user. Now, in the part of customer segment, you see customer segment and then you see user segment. Now, when we talk about customer segment, who is going to pay for your services? For example, if you're running a school, you will say, they ask you your customers and you say children. No, that's wrong. Children are your users. Your customers are the parents, working class parents, busy parents, parents from the. So you need to segmentize your customers. Write down all the customers for your particular product or for your particular service. Write it down. Be as exhaustive as possible. Write down everything you should write. Let it be clear. These are my customers. This is what they do. This is where I will find them. This is very, very important. Now, if you see, immediately you have written down all your customers. Now, the next thing, you do a jump to value proposition. Now, this is where you write out, what am I bringing to the table? What value am I going to be providing? How am I going to what, and if you see in the workbook you have, is explained step by step what you look out for, what new am I bringing to the market, what am I going to offer that others are not offering, what am I going to do, what am I going to do differently. And we need you to be as explanatory as possible, because this model, this canvas, you are going to use it to run your business. I prefer when people finish designing this business model canvas, they print it out, they put it and paste it somewhere, so that from time to time they look at it, they remind themselves, okay, what's the characteristics of your business, what's the newness, what's the new thing, what's your key selling proposition, what are you going to do that others are not doing? Is it your price? Is it going to be different? Are you going to do cost reduction? What's going to be, are you going if you are someone that doing IT, it's just going to be subscription based instead of the usual pay to download. Is it going to be free and then the pay subscription? You need to say what you want to do. That's very important. After you are done with value proposition, the next thing is customer relationship. How are you going to relate with your customers? How do you reach your customers? How are you going to relate with them? Because this is key in your business model development. How are you going to relate with your customer? Is it by personal messages? Is it by emails? Is it by annual automated? Are you going to do an automated service delivery for them? Because this thing vary from products or services, or it also vary from industry to industry. It also it also depends on how you want to let your service reach your people. You need to say, this is how I want to do it. Why we're doing this, to check whether your customer relationship method is expensive and if it is going to pay off for the business. This must be done before you start your business. Take your time, don't rush this, write it down, be as exhaustive as possible, and then you move over down to the next point, which is the channel. How are we going to do this? How are we going to sell our products? Are we going to use email marketing? Are we going to go television marketing? Are we going to do new media? What's the channel? How are we going to make this happen? And how are we going to integrate this activity into our normal business routines? For example, if you say you are going to be doing Facebook marketing, what will you be doing on the Facebook every day? If you see you are going to do video marketing, you need to be explicit. This is what I'm going to be doing on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, to be able to reach these channels, because we already know your segment of customers. You already know the value you want to propose. You already know the type of relationship you want to propose, you want to use for your customers, and then the channel is how. Okay, how are we going to deliver in? Through what channel are we going to engage them? You have to be as explicit as possible. And when you are done with this, you now move over to your key activities. What are your key activities? What will you do every day to ensure that the value you intend to propose is met? What am I going to be doing every day? Because your key activities will determine whether you are going to meet up with your revenue, whether you are going to meet up with your promises. Because most times some people promise, they say we're going to give you a top-notch product service delivery. Let's say someone running a cleaning company, we say we're going to give you the best cleaning services available, and then they don't have a timeline. At what time and what time should we clean or disinfect or this and do this? So you must write down what is going to be your key activity. We also need to boil down to the point of the things you do with respect to marketing, product development, research and development, going through the industry to check what is in trend. This must be in your key activity. Your key activity as the entrepreneur that is running the business. What will you be doing daily? Your key activity with respect to what your staff will be doing. You must write it down in this column. Be, like I say, be as explicit as possible. Your PMOs will guide you on what to do, on whether you are getting this right or not, because this is very important for your completing your business plan. Then after that, we now talk about your key resources. What resources do we need? How, because these are the key resources we need. What do we need? What do we need to meet up our value? Because you can say, I need to do this, I'm going to do this. What are the resources you need? How much money would you need? Would you need a pool vehicle to deliver? Will you need what are the things, everything you will need? You need to write it down. Now, what human resources will I need? What skills will I need? What equipment will I need? These are that you come under key resources and write it. You can decide to segmentize it. Say equipment, you write all the equipment under. Human resources, you write all the skills you need. Capital, you write what you will need and how you need it. It's very important, because for me, in today's world, a business model canvas, if you're able to develop a business model, you are 80% close to completing your business plan. Then you now consider your key partners. Who are your key partners? How do we want to reach our key partners? Your key partners might be your suppliers, it might be government agencies you relate with, it might be your funding partners, it might be people that play one role or the other in your meeting your needs as a business. It might be your marketing company, because there are some companies that will focus only on production. The people that carry your product, like if you're a bread manufacturing company, those guys that buy your bread in quantity to go and sell are your key partners. They are very important. Why you are identifying them is so that you know how best to relate with them. Because anybody that is not recognized, like if you're in stakeholder management, you need to learn how to manage your stakeholders. This is where you identify those stakeholders, and then after you have done that, we move down to the last to identifying our revenue. What's going to be our key revenue? How are we going to get our resources? What's with respect to our income? How are we going to get our income? Okay, what's our revenue streams? Now, for every business, there might be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 revenue streams. How are we going to be making money in this business? The challenge in most entrepreneurs is that they have the idea, they are passionate about it, but they can't tell us this is where the money is going to come from. Now, at this point, tell us how you are going to make money. You're a software developer. By subscription, by revenue, by advert, you need to write it down and if possible how much you expect from each of the revenue stream, so that you know the revenue stream that brings you the highest and the one that brings you the lowest, and then you end with what is going to be your cost structure. How is money going to be going out from your business? Salaries, buying raw materials, equipment, services, the things you would do daily. If you're able to bring this thing down, now if you check on your page 15 of this workbook, there's a space that you can write as many as possible things you want to write. Now if it's not enough, I repeat, get another sheet and write it. It's very important you're able to put this together, because from there you're able to move on to that point in your business plan. With that, I know you are on your way to making great things as a business person. Thank you very much. Good talking with you.